Are we live?
It's 6:03. You know what time it is.
That's just our new start time now.
That's been the joke.
Yeah. Maybe we should make a 6:03 emote.
That's a good idea, actually.
Sometimes I forget to say, are we live?
Hey, everyone. Everyone should be proud of us because that was a fast turnaround between we filmed the Q&A.
That was like 5-6 minutes.
We filmed the Q&A and we filmed our last two Clone Wars chronological rewatch videos. We finally got through all of the Clone Wars.
We did it.
And then we had to very quickly turn around and get ready to do this. And we did it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, this is a joyous event, right? Because we did it. We finished our Clone Wars coverage that we started,
4.5 years ago.
4.5 years ago, before we even moved into this house. It's done.
We did it.
We did it. And
I'm more just tired.
we go into it. Sorry, I got cat hair. There's cat hair all over the table, by the way.
Because Pippin makes an appearance in the Q&A this week. Yay.
We go into this in the last episode covering the Clone Wars, but we're going to cover Rebels a little bit differently.
Yeah, I think we have to.
We're not going to go one episode at a time. Oh, hi, Jill.
Yeah, we're going to do the Clone War or Star Wars Rebels. We're going to cover that before Ahsoka. But we're going to do it one season at a time instead of one episode at a time because that was insane that we thought that would work.
What's up, Scotty Jero in the chat?
Yo,
what do you
Scotty.
think of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? Well...
I'm not going to answer that question right now because you have to wait and watch us talk about it on the Bombadcast. Which, by the way, I already set up a redirect from this live stream to that live stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even though it's not starting till
9.
9.
Yeah, but...
Just keep this window open, friends. Yeah, we'll be on the Bombadcast tonight at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Is that how time works?
I think so.
I watched Crystal Skull yesterday after not having seen it in a long time, and I have thoughts. Hi, buddy.
Hilo has thoughts too.
Yeah, I made him watch it with me. Jill said, oh my god, I need that shirt. I just got it. You like? As if I needed more tie-dye shirts in my life, but I mean, I don't have any Jar Jar shirts.
Where'd you get that? Hot Topic?
Hot Topic online.
I burst out laughing when I saw that shirt because...
It does look vintage. Thank
Yeah.
you. I think that's the point. Like, this used to be a design, I think, on shirts that came out back then, like in 99.
So Molly got 2 shirts like this. One of them had Darth Maul, and she showed me that one first. I was like, neat. And then she got the other one out, and I was like, it'll be Padme or Anakin or something. That was, for some reason, the last character I expected to see on that shirt, but I love it.
I don't have any Jar Jar shirts.
Now you do.
Now I do. I'm sorry, Hilo. Yeah, the animals were in rare form today while we were filming the Q&A, so they're both in the Q&A for this Saturday. Good for them. Anyways, let's get into some super chats here. First one comes up from LOASD. Thank you so much. What's a good underrated movie, show, or book that you recommend to friends? Something people likely haven't seen already. Ooh.
For All Mankind? I feel like that.
For a show, yeah.
Yeah.
Barbarian, if you're into horror movies. We've watched that movie like 4 times since it came out.
Yeah, because that's a movie that's fun to watch with people who haven't seen it.
Yeah. Barbarian and Malignant are 2 horror movie picks for me that maybe not as many people have seen. Book?
I like both of those movies.
Book? I mean, you could... This is like a whole big series of books, but the Dresden Files were some that we both really, really enjoyed. There's just been so many of them since... I
think there are 17 of them right now.
Since it started that, like, we couldn't keep up eventually. There was, like, a huge gap of time between books at one point that we kind of just like fell out of it. But it's a great series.
Well, he didn't release anything new for years. We read all 15, and then it took years for books 16 to come out, and then he put 17 out like months after that. And I started to read 16, and I was like, I don't remember everything I feel like I should. So now I feel like I have to reread the whole series, and I don't have time for that right now.
Who has the time? No one.
But those are really good books. I was going to say Wanderers by Chuck Wendig. I read that
Oh yeah, you told me about that one. It
3
sounds
or 4
pretty
years
cool.
ago. It was really good.
Sounds trippy.
I think that was in like 2019 that I read that. It was great. It's long, but it kept me engaged the whole time.
Yeah. I think we covered that. Underrated movie, show, and book.
Underrated movie.
Some of them.
I'll just shout out Ford versus Ferrari because I watched that today just because I hadn't seen it. It's James Mangold, and I wanted to get some more of his filmography under my belt before Indy 5, and I've only heard good things about that movie. It was good. I liked it a lot. Also made me mad, but in the way that it's supposed to.
Whiplash.
Oh, Whiplash I love.
That's a good one.
That one, I don't know. Well, I guess I don't know if Ford v Ferrari won any Academy Awards or not, but Whiplash definitely did. So that might be more well known.
Because it's like all about music, I wonder if a lot of people were like, it's not really my thing, and like skipped it. I don't know.
Whiplash is awesome. Any other TV shows?
Love is Blind. No.
Plenty of people watch that.
I mean, I'm just a sucker for all kinds of documentaries. I recently just binge watched The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, which was really interesting, and Jill, if she's still here, she watched it too. It's
I didn't care for it.
it's, if you like documentaries, it's kind of a fun watch. I don't know if I should say fun, but it is like really interesting. I'll just keep it at that. And every episode, it's kind of like I changed my mind about a lot of things, and I was just left feeling kind of just lost and confused, but in a good way. There's going to be a part 2, so just keep that in mind too. Yeah, Jill said that ending made me so mad. Sean watched it with me too. The dad is still trash. Agreed. Andrew Yaku says Ford v Fieri. Did Fieri?
You keep saying that. Molly thinks this is a
Ford v Fieri.
Yeah, it's a
Fieri.
a car show with fighting against Guy Fieri. This car's going to Flavortown.
Did win Academy Awards, Best Sound Editing and Best Film Editing.
I can see that.
Sound editing makes sense because I could hear it all over the house.
Film editing was good too. It was really good.
I'm excited to watch Girl Interrupted.
I want to watch that. I've never seen that.
Because that is also a James Mangold film, which I didn't realize. And I know I like the movie. I haven't seen it in years.
Where's this go?
Darth Nicholas with the next super chat. Would an animated Indiana Jones series with Clone Wars style animation interest you?
So this isn't a question from the Q&A, but we wound up bringing it up in the Q&A.
I did.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about indie stuff, and that just popped into my head as someone who just watched Crystal Skull and was kind of like picking at certain parts of it. I was like, I wonder if people would watch an animated indie series because they could get away with a lot more in an animated show. And like, especially if it were young indie, I don't know, it would probably appeal to a younger audience that way. I don't know.
Oh, I see. This is kind of a confusing build. I actually don't think I would want it to be in the Clone Wars style. I would prefer it just to be 2D animation, but I've had this... I talk about this on the Q&A, but there is a 2D animated like fan film. It's just supposed to be like the intro for the TV show, this hypothetical show, but it's really good, and I've always liked that style. So I'm like, I think something like that would work great. That's what I would want to see, but I'd be down for some animated indie.
Yeah, I would be. They could get a lot kookier with it.
I think so. It's kind of like the way the Buffy comics went way crazier with the monsters. The second they just had to be drawn instead of fully realized in live action.
Yeah. Which I couldn't keep up with those. I don't know why. I think I loved the show too much to be able to enjoy having to read comics of it instead of seeing a show about it.
You've never really been a comics person.
Nah. You'd think I would be, though, because I can't read a book to save my life. And the comics are like little short bursts of information that don't take as long as reading a book. I don't know what's wrong with me. The Cosmic Jedi, thank you for the next one. Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. What would be your made-up Star Wars names and why? Ooh, isn't there like a name generator? Because like...
Probably. I'm trying to think of like Tuckerizing our own names. So like...
Almay?
Sure. Almay. Just Male. You can be a handmaiden.
A handmaiden? I've thought about that. I like Almay.
I think my last name would be Nomad instead of Damon. Like Zelen Nomad.
I'm trying to think of like, because my screen name on a lot of things is Molly Mander, so like something like that, but switched around. Dr. Mandibles. That's my name.
My name would be Cobb Vanth. Just think that's cool. I don't know.
We were just talking about how Talon Card's name was really cool.
Yeah, he's got a good name.
Something like... Is there anyone in Star Wars named Ripper? I think that's a cool name.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
It's kind of a nickname for Giles and Buffy.
Right. We were also laughing at Kyle Katarn and how, like, you can't say his name, just the first name, because it's not Star Wars
Kyle.
enough. You have to be like, oh yeah, Kyle Katarn, cool character. But if you're just like, Kyle.
Just Kyle.
It just sounds too normal.
Yeah.
But that happens in Star Wars sometimes. There's a Bob Hudsell, I think, is in A New Hope, or in the book Outbound Flight. There's a character that's just named George, but it's spelled Jorj. And it took me like the entire book, because I would just look at the word and not really sound it out in my head. But then when I stopped and thought about it, I was like, oh my God, his name is just George. But it's Star Wars-ified.
Therm Scissor Punch is definitely a good Star Wars name. Any way you can work the word punch into your name. Ripper Punch. Something like that, maybe. I don't know, I haven't really thought about it. Anytime I get too wrapped up in thinking of like fantasy names or Star Wars names, I just automatically want to go to a generator and cycle through a few until one sparks interest. Campy, thank you for the next super chat. Disney has tagged you guys to help with their most recent nine movie special edition, but they say you need to make a single change to each trilogy, like Lucas was known to do. What are your changes?
A single change to every movie.
To each trilogy. So each trilogy gets a single change.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Like one change per trilogy.
Okay. Original trilogy, I change the Han Greedo scene back to what it originally was. I can deal with all the other changes. That's the only one that I actively just really, really don't like.
Oh, Sean Sully.
What's up, Sully?
Welcome to the Biggs Mega Fans. He said, Molly, what an amazing shirt. Thank you.
We should get him one that looks just like that, but it has Ben Quadraneris on it instead.
Oh my god. Why don't they make that? They should. So you would change the Han Solo Greedo shot first, whatever. What would you change it to?
To what it was originally.
Okay.
I would just change it back. That counts.
I would maybe... what would I do? I would start putting... Because that one scene where Han goes to talk to what was originally going to be Jabba, the big Scottish guy.
Yep.
But in the background, there's all the Greedos
Yep.
that are all dressed the same. I would put more Greedos and more scenes just to carry on that joke.
I mean, there's one in Return of the Jedi already.
Yeah, in the palace. Is it in the palace or is it on
Yeah.
the barge?
It's in the palace. There's probably one on the barge, too.
Yeah, I would just... I don't know why that makes me laugh so much. Probably because of the heels that the woman who played Greedo would wear. So I just like to think that Greedo liked wearing heels because it made him feel pretty. And more
Greedo's
people...
beautiful just the way he is. If he only learned to accept that.
Well, more people should embrace if they want to wear heels, to just wear
Just wear heels if you want to wear heels.
wear heels. I can't talk today.
We've been talking for like an hour and a half straight.
That's true.
Prequel trilogy.
Oh God, where do I start? I'd give Padme more to do. I don't know.
It's like that's
That's a big change.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of just like little cosmetic things that you could do. I want to do something in Dex's Diner.
I would change the way that Padme jumps down and lands on that
On the neck or on the
reek. No woman
Uh-huh.
is jumping from that height and landing on an animal
That way.
that way and not having a bad time about it. I'm sorry.
Shaylo Ren has done the math.
Yeah.
It's
It's been done. The work has been done. Now I just feel bad that even happened on screen.
like
so-
have her open up a parasol
Yeah.
when she jumps and she just floats gracefully onto
Yeah.
it.
Something, yeah. Ooh, I like the Yoda puppet change. That'd be a good one.
Ooh, oh yeah, if I'm just going around and changing things back. Oh god. Do I want to change the Han shot first scene or do I want to remove the no from Return of the Jedi?
That one's not that bad.
I don't like it. Just unnecessary. It works already. Like, you know what he's thinking. It's not like he was thinking, yay, as he...
Maybe he was. He's like, I friggin' did it, finally. I stood up for myself. I'm not evil anymore. My son's here. We're going to hang out. It's going to be great.
It's gonna be great. Oops, I'm dead.
Oops, I'm dead. Sean Sully said, change it to where when the Nexus slashes Padme's top, it also slashes Anakin's top. That's equality.
Yeah.
Yes, equal rights, people.
Everyone's got crop tops on in the Geonosis.
Obi-Wan. Yeah, all of them.
I like that.
So wait, did you pick a prequel one?
I'm trying to think of something serious. I'll make Dexter Jetster fart There, if this is the way this conversation's going, everyone's doing joke answers.
You'll make him fart?
I'm gonna make Dexter Jester fart. I do want to. I think something in Dexter's diner would be fun, like just digitally adding a bunch of food on the counter, like some really weird stuff, or just shots of extra customers. Like that seems like something George would do. Of kind of like the musical number in Return of the Jedi.
Ooh, I have another one.
Well, you only get to do one. You have to choose your favorite.
I want to add more ETs. If they're going to add the little ET species in the Senate, I want to see them walking around. Maybe in the diner. One of them's in there, like, trying to get someone's attention with his finger up, and it's lit up.
That's funny.
All right, sorry, I can't make that many changes.
This is really neat. I don't know if this is supposed to... We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but like the way the boulder rolls is cool.
That's the way the boulder rolls, and the way the cookie crumbles. All right, are we moving on to sequel trilogy?
Yes.
What would I change in the sequel trilogy?
I would like to add Corcella back into the film. She had some deleted scenes with Leia. She's the woman on Hosnian Prime that it kind of focuses on as it explodes. And you're like, I just remember watching it and being like, why did they focus on that person? And then hearing deleted scenes, it was like, makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I thought her scenes were pretty good. So maybe that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Maybe this is a hot take, but I doubt it is. For most people, I would keep Ben Solo alive.
That's not...
That's a change.
Yeah, but a special edition change, like, mostly they're just cosmetic.
If I am George Lucas, I do whatever I want.
So I'm trying to think of basically... Ben Solo lies down. He doesn't fade away. Then they just cut to Rey arriving on Agent Kloss, and like you just digitally insert Adam Driver like looking around, and no one reacts to him. Well, like that's how a special edition change would go in my mind.
In my mind, she goes back. We have that scene as played out regularly in Episode 9. Then when she shows up on Tatooine, and she has that moment where she's like Rey Skywalker, and she sees the Force ghosts, and then she walks over to the sunset. He walks over with her, or like peeks his head out from the ship or something. Like they digitally add him somewhere in that scene where it's like a big bomb that gets dropped. Like, oh, he's there still.
But do you still see him fade away?
No, he's alive.
Okay, but so he doesn't fade away on Exegol.
No,
we cut that out.
We just cut
okay.
there.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that's a pretty big change, I will admit, but. Again, in this scenario, I am the maker, and I do what I want. All right, moving on. Brad Scanlon has the next super chat. Weird question. What's the worst injury you've had? Ooh.
Well, you broke your butt.
I did break my butt. Well, it was like barely broken.
You broke your butt. Stop pretending you didn't fracture your butt.
I broke my tailbone in high school trying to skateboard
every
because
time
I'm
it comes
cool.
Up, every time it's like, have you ever broken a bone in your body? I have to convince you that a fracture is a break.
Well, I couldn't wear a cast. I had to just be a derpy for like 3 months.
You broke your butt.
My back still hurts from that.
I don't know. I've never been that horribly injured. I've never broken a bone. I fell over pretty bad playing Ultimate Frisbee once.
I fell over pretty bad once.
Still have the scar. Like, I mean, I got really cut up.
Yeah.
But It wasn't that bad.
I got a scar from when I hit my elbow on that champagne bottle that had been sabered.
Mm-hmm.
Not well.
I sprained my ankle really bad once, but that wasn't broken. It just hurt for a while. Like,
Never, other than my tailbone, I've never like seriously injured any bones. Which seems wild to me because I know so many people that have like broken their ankles multiple times. Jill has broken her both elbows at the same time, which
Right.
seems
how?
unnecessarily
doing?
violent.
I thought you were just going to say it seems unnecessary.
It seems unnecessary.
Seems
Jill.
unnecessary that you would do that, Jill.
Try better.
Maybe don't do that. Have you tried not breaking both of your elbows?
I had really bad acid reflux 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
It's not an injury. That's
That
just
was
getting
rough.
old.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else. We've been pretty lucky.
Ooh.
I've had some of my crowns come off. That's just an inconvenience.
I popped my eardrum.
Oh, yeah.
That was bad and scary. I dove to the bottom of a lake and popped my eardrum and lost my orientation. And
That sounds awful.
yeah, it was terrifying. Like, it all happened really fast. Fortunately, I was at the bottom of the lake, so I just pushed off of it.
Did you eat before swimming?
That has nothing to do with that. I just went down too deep. But that does sound like
Could have
something.
been.
Yeah. But I remember getting back to the top of the lake and just being so dizzy and disoriented. That's probably my worst and most scary injury, even though it really wasn't that bad. Then I had a bad headache the rest of the day.
Boy, headaches are the worst.
I had to go to the hospital.
Did it affect your hearing?
Maybe. I mean, at the time, yeah, I blew my eardrum up, but
Oh, yeah, that makes sense then, like long-term damage. Well, I gotta yell.
yeah. Well, you should stop whispering.
I'm just trying to train your ears to be better.
You're just the quietest person in the world.
If you want to know what I have to say, you'll work hard to
I'm
hear
trying. My exploded eardrums won't let me.
it. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed our lackluster injuries. Darth Nicholas has the next one here. I'm not the biggest fan of the superhero genre, but I love James Mangold's second and last Wolverine movie, Logan. Have any of you seen it? My personal fave Marvel show, The Dark Knight of Marvel, and almost as great as The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I love Logan.
Marvel movie, sorry, not
Yeah.
show. I liked Logan too. I really liked that one.
I think we've seen that one twice. I know we saw it in the theaters, and then we saw it with a friend after the fact because they hadn't gone to see it. But yeah, I thought it was great.
One Danny EFC said, Alex can't smell. Is that an injury?
That's no injury caused that.
That's just a curse you live with.
Just
A
born
curse
with
or
it.
a blessing, depends. Yeah, Logan is a really great movie. We were talking about just how random all of Mangold's movies are.
His filmography is all over the place in a good way.
Yeah. He's like trying to assemble like the Infinity Gauntlet of movies, it
Yeah, of
feels
genres.
like, of genres.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just a guy that doesn't want to keep making the same movie over and over again. He did do 2 Wolverine movies, but he's done a Western, he's done a musical biopic, he's done whatever Girl Interrupted is. I haven't seen it. A drama, I guess.
Yeah, drama.
He's done a racing movie. He's done... what else has he done? I'm
310 to Yuma?
I think
Cowboy
I said a
movie?
Western.
Cowboy
Did I say a Western? He's done a Western. And 310 to Yuma is great. It's one of those things where, like, I realized, or I thought, I haven't seen a ton of James Mangold movies. I have seen Logan, I know, and the Wolverine.
Walk the Line.
That's the
biopic.
musical biopic. I was like, I know he's made Logan and a couple other things, but I haven't seen most of his stuff. And then we pulled up his filmography. I was like, oh, wait, I've seen that. and that and that. Like, he's just a name that doesn't get thrown around a lot, but he's made a ton of good movies that he just deserves more respect, I think.
Oh, don't we all?
Yeah. Well, not everyone, but he does.
What's up, Jane? Let's see. Christopher Killian has the next super chat. Have you guys seen a show called Avatar: The Last Airbender? I think you two would love it. Most Star Wars fans do, after all.
I like that.
We
Little show called.
We've seen it.
We were today talking about rewatching it.
Yeah.
It'll be my third time, I think.
Really? Third time rewatching it?
No, just watching it. Sorry, my third time watching it.
Third time. Wait, what?
It will be my third time watching Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay. I didn't think you'd watched it that many times.
I saw it once, and then like so many other shows, you will come in for like the last few episodes and be like, "This is good," and then I'll be like, "I'll rewatch it with you."
Don't act like that happens more often than it does when I watch stuff, and you're like, "What's this?"
Battlestar Galactica, Avatar: The Last Airbender, For All Mankind. Those are three big ones.
Okay.
Those are three big ones.
Wow. Look at all those three.
They're big ones, though. You can't deny.
Okay. Yeah, we're probably going to do a rewatch again at some point, but I am very excited for the live action adaptation. All we've seen so far are like the little thing, the little like, I don't even know if you'd call it a teaser that Netflix put out, but it was just like the little symbols.
Oh, I haven't even seen that.
In a video form. But we did see pictures of some of the cast, and we've got names of other people from the cast. And so far, I think the cast looks fantastic.
I am optimistic about this, mostly for Paul Sun-Hyung Lee as Uncle Iroh. I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good casting.
Darth Nicholas with the next one. We've all heard the rumor about Tim making his debut as Rex in Ahsoka, but what are the chances of Wolf also appearing in Ahsoka? Is that something you'd like to see? I'd say pretty slim that we see anyone besides Rex.
Yeah, he just was the closer member of the group.
Oops. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you got Tim, he can play as many clones as you want, so I'm like, I could take it or leave it. If Wolf shows up, awesome. I've been patiently waiting for him to appear in the Bad Batch, which he's coming. They did show him in the celebration footage, so...
Everyone's talking about my shirt.
What's a great shirt?
Thanks, Jake.
So
Sorry.
Wolf is coming, but I don't think I'm not expecting him in in Ahsoka.
Yeah. I think it would mean more if we just stuck to Rex, honestly. Like, that way Tamira Morrison isn't too overwhelmed with having to play multiple clones differently. You know, he can focus on just Rex. But, I mean, he might want to have that challenge of playing different ones.
I'm sure he would do great. And Wolf just looks cool. He's the one with all the scars.
Yeah, that would be fun for the makeup department.
Yeah.
Carlisle the Cinephile, thank you for the next super chat. Do you think you'd ever want to discuss any of the Indiana Jones graphic novels that Dark Horse made on Indiana Jones Explained?
I've got next week some indie videos coming that are based off of the comics.
Oh, really?
Yep. I made them like a year and a half ago, I think, because originally Indy 5 was supposed to come out last June or last May or something. So I had a bunch of indie videos ready.
Oh, yeah.
And then they were like, never mind. So I just moved all those videos. But I think they're all based on the comics. But I have not read most of the comics. I hadn't read those comics until I made those videos, and I was like, what are some questions I have as an indie fan? And then I went and I found those stories and read them.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I've always wanted to do, is get more into Indiana Jones stuff. I haven't watched 90% of the Young Indie Adventures. I've read like one indie book and now a handful of comics. So I want to get into the Indie EU. That'd be fun.
That sounds like too many letters.
Indie EU.
Indie
I like
EU.
that.
Oh, hi, Chase.
Everybody's here.
Everybody's here. It's Thursday. It's time to party. I don't know why. It's party time. We don't have any plans this week. We might have plans this weekend. Might have like one plan this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. I thought it was going to rain all weekend, so. Where am I at? Elo asked you with another super chat. Would you rather talk to George Lucas for 10 minutes, not about Star Wars, or self-navigate the holocron with Leland Shee as a guide for 1 hour? Ooh, Lucas for 10 minutes, not about Star Wars. Easy. I want to get to know what that man does every day. What's your day-to-day schedule, George?
Okay, you do that. I'll take Leland. I want to see the doc. I want to see the holocron. That sounds kind of cool. And I don't trust myself to not talk Star Wars to George. Like, this feels
easy.
This feels like a genie granting a wish kind of thing, where if you break the rules, something terrible is going to happen. So better to just not even put me in that position.
Yeah. I would just be like, how you doing? Like, really, how are you expressing yourself creatively these days? What does that mean to you? Are you even able to do that anymore? And more importantly, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to know that you're happy. And also, I just want to know, like, what he eats for breakfast. What Netflix shows is he watching?
That would be fun. That would be really fun to just ask, what are you watching right now? What are you into?
Yeah, what's his favorite form of exercise? Does he do yoga? Can I go to the ranch sometime? Like, simple questions.
Ooh, that feels like it's going into Star Wars territory, though.
They do all kinds of stuff at the ranch.
Yeah, but it's Skywalker
I like
Ranch.
wine. I want to try the Skywalker Ranch wine.
You can't say Skywalker.
The ranch wine.
Yeah.
He knows what I'm talking about.
I know. He knows what, but you can't say Skywalker.
Fine. Whatever. I will charm him to the point where we'll be going on double dates.
Right on.
Pretty soon.
See, yeah, that's why Molly gets that job.
I can't wear this shirt, though.
He might like... Yeah, that's true. So you might like the shirt, but if we're avoiding Star Wars, then...
Yeah. I would hate to build that trust with him and then take my jacket off and he'd see the shirt and he'd just turn around and walk the other direction. And I'd be like, dang it!
So close.
But no shade to Leland Shee. Like, he would be awesome to talk to as well.
Well, I know I would love to dig through the holocron, so that's why I would take that one.
Mm-hmm. Deidre Russell, thank you for the next super chat. Hit that like button, folks, because algorithms. It's true. We are kind of slaves to YouTube's algorithm, so help us out. Hit the like button. Doesn't cost you anything. But a click. You know. Or don't. It's fine. I'll know, though. I'll know if you didn't. I have ways.
I don't care. Do whatever you want.
Yeah. Darth Nicholas with the next super chat. As someone who wanted more clone-centric arcs in the Clone Wars, a Tales of the Clones animated series would fulfill my wishes perfectly. Is that a series you would be on board with? Well, we got the Clone Wars show. That feels...
Well, he's saying he wanted more clone-centric arcs in that show.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think we got a lot, but...
But not enough.
Not enough. I guess there's never enough.
I think, personally, I probably did get enough in the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get what they're saying, that we could have gone deeper with a lot of some like specific clones.
I do think the Clone Wars, the clone-centric arcs are some of the best, like Umbara, Rookies, and the Domino Squad training and all that. But I mean, I'm like at this point I'm so ready to go into like the Dawn of the Jedi era, something brand new. We've spent a ton of time in the original era, the prequel era. I'm ready to get some more new stuff. That's why I like the High Republic so much.
Yeah. After watching Bad Batch, like, I would be interested in seeing stories about clones who, you know, survived Order 66, got out of it, went and, like, lived a life. Kind of like, what's his name that had the family?
Cut Lawquane.
Cut Lawquane. Also a great Star Wars name. I don't know, stories like that I would find interesting, just knowing that there was hope for more of them. And I mean, I don't know, maybe we'll get there with Bad Batch season 3.
I would also like to catch up with Cut and see what he's up to. He might pop up in Bad Batch 3. I think Bad Batch 3 will hopefully answer a lot of clone questions.
Hopefully, we'll see. Deidre Russell with another super chat. Thank you. Will Alex ever cosplay Lightside Ben alongside Molly's Dark Ray?
That'd be fun.
Will Alex ever cosplay? That's the question.
I'd love to, but there's a lot of steps. Like, I need to learn to sew.
Not necessarily.
I would like to learn to
You
sew.
can. There's plenty of girls on Drag Race that get by with a hot glue gun and safety pins.
That's true.
Just like me.
That's
It's
true.
not a bad thing, unless you're trying to win Drag Race, in which you need to learn how to sew. But
I would just like to I really want to cosplay a High Republic Jedi, but like I want to be able to make my own robes. I don't know why. Just a goal that I have that I'm doing nothing to achieve right now.
Sean Sully says, I'm currently learning to sew for that exact reason. So maybe he can teach you.
Sully, will you teach me to sew?
Yeah, and then you can just make clothes for me.
They're all going to look like this.
What? This is screen printed.
No, I'll learn.
You're going to
I know how to screen print. I used
crochet.
to work...
That's true. Why aren't you making us t-shirts then?
Because we don't have a screen printing machine. It's
All I'm
another
hearing are
expense.
excuses. Boy. No, I'm kidding. I think I could sew, but the idea of a sewing machine kind of freaks me out. That little needle moves really fast, and I'm afraid that I would stick my finger in there.
Don't do that.
I'm afraid I would, on accident. Because it's relevant, I'll go ahead and read it. Deidre sent another super chat and said, Alex, just trust Molly to dress you. I mean, she did your makeup. It's true, like, I could dress him to be Lightside Ben, but that's double the work for me, because at this point, my Darkside Ray costume needs to be redone. She's old, she's fallen apart, she's been to too many cons. She needs work. But then I don't want to double my work.
Yeah.
Just to make him look good.
Why not?
Because I could make a whole other costume.
There are stickers somewhere. That I have to find.
Stickers? Oh, did Hilo eat them?
Maybe.
He was chewing on something earlier.
Let me see if that's what that was.
Dark Elm 145 has the next super chat that I'm sure Alex will be happy to talk about. So, where are we at in Tears of the Kingdom?
Oh, man. I have explored all of the regional phenomena. I have all of my hero buddies with me. I got the Master Sword. I feel like I'm nearing the end, but there's also still a lot to do. So I don't know. I think the Master Sword is the latest big thing that I have achieved.
I like that
without going into spoilers.
I got excited for this game for reasons I don't know and I can't explain. And then we sat down and started it like one Friday night. And then we got to like the whole having to build stuff, and I was just like, ugh, I can't be bothered. This is too hard. It completely overwhelmed me in a way that I didn't think it would happen that fast.
It honestly was overwhelming at the start. It took me some time to figure everything out because they're like, you can build things using zonite devices, and you need charges, and you need these like dispensers, and then if you want more batteries,
that sounds like Minecraft to me. I can't do it.
You have to mine zonite itself, and then you can trade that in for crystallized charges, and then you can turn the crystallized charges into batteries, and like that was a lot right off the start.
And see, I'd already gotten back into. Had I? No. Wait.
Was Phoebe there?
I had already gotten back into Animal Crossing, which there are elements of that in Animal Crossing where you have to like build one thing to build the other thing, and mine, or you gotta hit rocks to get stuff, and like it's just like a much more simplified version where I'm like, okay, I can handle the daily tasks of Animal Crossing, and it gives me this strange sense of peace where it reminds me of the lockdown during the pandemic when we like literally couldn't go anywhere. And it kind of just like puts my brain in full...
It's cozy.
I don't know if cozy is the word. Like disassociation. Like during that time of the pandemic, we just had no other choice but to like sit at home and rethink our lives and like try to just do anything we could to have a good time. And I don't know, something about revisiting that game now makes me feel like I don't have to worry about anything. Like that kind of thing.
That's kind of what video games do. It just like lets me turn my brain off and be like, I don't have to worry about anything except for saving the entire kingdom. But
I wouldn't say a game like that like lets you turn your brain off.
It does for me in a different way. It works out a different part of my brain. Put that on that and that on that.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, Joel Davis has the next one here. Thoughts on Mando Season 3 as more time has passed. Sadly, it's my least favorite season, and I would give it a 6 out of 10 on the whole. Ooh, gosh, I can't remember, like, where I rated it when we were still covering it live, episode to episode, but I would say...
It's pretty close for me between seasons 1 and 3.
I think I liked 3 better than 1.
I might too.
Like, 3 gave us more Bo-Katan, which I loved. It gave us going back to Mandalore, which I loved.
Like, I rewatched seasons 1 and 2 and the build up to 3, and I don't love 1 as much as some people do. Like, there's still, even now knowing what the show is, I remember watching it for the first time and being like, this is not what I thought it was going to be, and having to adjust. But even now, with that adjustment made, there's some episodes like the Gunslinger, even though it becomes important with Fennec Shand and everything. Same with the... I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm in the huge minority here. I don't like the Prisoner episode. The prison break thing with the New Republic ship. It's mostly the characters. They're supposed to be just like so edgy and so over the top and be like, this is who the Mandalorian used to hang out with. You're supposed to dislike them, but I really dislike them. Yeah. You think you're supposed to like them?
I don't think you're supposed to hate them.
Why not?
I don't know. They're not like big evil villains. They're just...
That's how they act. Like all of them.
I
All
think
of them
you're
act
too
that way.
hard. Like, I don't know what your deal is with those characters specifically, but you're super hard on them.
I know. They're just giant caricatures. And I don't like watching them.
Those movies have those.
Not that bad.
I pointed to...
When's the...
Sorry, I pointed to a Raiders of the Lost Ark poster.
Not that way. You didn't rewatch it with me the most recent time, but I
The
don't
Prison
know.
Break one?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
I
love
like
it.
it.
I just think it's fun.
I like it in the latter half when he is now been betrayed and he's going and picking them off one by one. I'm like, this is good. And I really have changed my mind on Mayfeld because I like his episode in season 2 a lot. And I think Rick Famuyiwa is a great director. I just cannot stand Berg and Shion, and I guess those are the main two. They're both just so like, I'm the big Deveronian and I just hit everything, and she's just like the edgiest edgelord.
Mm-hmm. But
Don't
that's,
like it.
I mean, they put it all out there because, like, that's what they're supposed to be.
I know. I get it. Just don't like watching it.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, they are over the top, but the episode as a whole, I just think is fun. It's a fun little, like, mini episode adventure that Den has to go on, and the ending is really fun and cool, and I like the way that the Deveronian's horns get cut off.
The door, we thought it was a kill at first. That's great. Like I said, the second half of the episode I like a lot more, but it's kind of a slog for me to get to that point. And I love the end where he puts the tracker on the other Twi'lek and leads the New Republic to that base. Like, that's all good. It's got one of the best laughs when Grogu thinks that he blew up the droid's chest.
Oh yeah, and then he's like, what? Yeah.
It's got good stuff in it. I just don't like, I think it's just those two characters that I do not like.
It's just, it shocks me to no end that you find these super over-the-top characters in this one episode just unacceptable.
I didn't say they're unacceptable. I just don't like watching them.
I don't know, like, how can you watch Drag Race and enjoy it if you don't like over-the-top?
Because they're not over-the-top evil.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it depends on what we're talking about. Anyways. So yeah, I think it's not my least favorite season. I would put it probably as my second favorite season so far.
I think
1.
I think I would use that ranking as well, but it's close. It's pretty close because I do like the smaller nature of season 1. Like, I remember in season 2, even though that's my favorite season, being resistant to it connecting more and more with the larger universe. Like, Bo-Katan I thought made sense. I didn't love the Ahsoka episode as much as other people did. I was just kind of like, I like it being its own little self-contained thing. And it's not that anymore, and I've accepted it. But for a while, I was like, So I do like season 1 for that.
Let's see here. Dawson Assay, thank you for the next super chat. What do you guys think will come next for the High Republic after Phase 3? A movie, more books, TV series, cantina bar, car dealership? I want more. Well, we're getting the Acolyte, which feels not directly related to what we know of the High Republic so far, but it's like close to it. And we have Ernesto Rowe. So I do think that counts as the next big thing, being that TV series connecting to Phase 3.
Yeah, I think we're still going to get High Republic storytelling, but the publishing initiative, that'll be done, and the world is still going to continue to grow. The Acolyte will be High Republic. I bet they're still going to do High Republic books and comics, but it'll be interesting to see how they brand that, because it's not like it'll be Phase 4. Maybe it will be, but it'll be like, this is a High Republic book set in the High Republic era, but it doesn't have Marchion Rowe in it or anything like that. So I don't know. I think the era is going to continue to be explored extensively, but it'll probably just open up to different creators.
Right. I mean, I think we'll continue to get books and comics from it, I'm sure. Cantina Bar would be great. Let's get Scum and Villainy another location in Atlanta.
Yeah. There you go.
That'd be great.
I like that.
Darth Nicholas has the next one here. Hu Yang has a very likely chance of appearing in the Dawn of the Jedi movie, but I can also see him appearing in the Mandoverse movie and Rey's new Jedi Order movie. What about you guys? Well, he's in Ahsoka. I think it would make sense for him to be in the Dawn of the Jedi movie because he's so old and he was around back then.
And the fact that the Timelines book sets a date, it sets the date for the Jedi Order's creation, and then like a few years after that, it says Hu Yang is activated. And it's kind of like, weird that it does say circa. It says about this time.
Right.
But it's an interesting thing. And I don't want to read too much into it, but I am already, so.
I think
he's got a good chance.
Out of all the films, that one is the one that stands out to me to be the one where he could show up.
I think...
He could also be in Filoni's movie, though, because he's in Ahsoka.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Just because it's Filoni, the Clone Wars connection. I do think that he has a good chance of appearing in the Dawn of the Jedi film. Rey's film, maybe. Let's see what happens in Ahsoka first. But I certainly think that it's possible and would be a cool connection, a good way for Rey to learn about the Jedi Order over its constant iterations.
Mm-hmm. I do want to see just more types of droids. We were just talking the other day when we were streaming Jedi Survivor that we want to see another droid that is styled the same way as the High Republic droid that we see in that game.
Z,
yeah. She's got such a cool design. It's very Art Deco, much like the rest of the High Republic. So I think that would be cool. Just get more new droid characters. Carlisle the Cinephile says, I think we'd all love to see you guys stream some of the old games like Emperor's Tomb.
Oh, we want to go indie? That's an Indiana Jones game.
I am pretending like I know what that is. I don't know what it is. I thought it was a Star Wars game, but indie game, sure.
I've only played like 3 indie games, I think. I've done Fate of Atlantis, which was great. Played that multiple times. I've played the Super Indiana Jones game on the SNES, which is so hard. And I've played The Infernal Machine, which I also liked and was kind of a sequel to Fate of Atlantis.
Those are great names for games. I mean, they sound cool.
The Emperor's Tomb, I think, is the prequel to Temple of Doom. It's how he gets Nurhachi's remains to give to Lao She.
Interesting.
I think.
I need to rewatch Temple of Doom. I don't remember much about that except for disliking what's her name?
Willie.
Oh dang it, I had a thought in my head and it just escaped. Oh, no it didn't. I just heard recently that the makers of Riven and Myst are making a new game.
Oh, yeah?
And that would be the kind of, for me, that would be like the perfect cozy Indiana Jones game.
Oh, just a little puzzle solver kind of thing. Oh, then play Fate of Atlantis. Like, Fate of Atlantis is a point-and-click adventure. It's kind of similar to Myst. It's not first person, but you just kind of solve problems by just clicking around the map.
When did it come out? Like, it was
early 90s.
It was a computer game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember playing all of the like educational computer games at one of my friends' house growing up, and like I don't know if I ever like really played them properly. I was just like, oh my god, computer games, I'm gonna play them. And then I was like, if I had to do math, I would just completely tune out.
So you never played Math Blaster?
Absolutely not. Who in their right mind would? God,
It's probably
we're
why
so
I can
different. Math Blaster.
That would be a fun stream to do on our other channel of just like, let's play old games that we used to play.
I'm pretty sure I would just put numbers in and test my luck.
Oh, I mean, you're not going to win that way.
You don't know. That's the more fun way to win, I think. Because then you just happen to win.
What educational games did you play?
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure they weren't math related though. Oh, I played Minesweeper, but I never knew how to play it until I was an adult. I would just click stuff until it told me game over.
I used to do that too.
And I was like, cool, this is a fun game. Like back
just
then.
random. It's completely random.
Back then, everything about computers was just kind of fascinating. So I just would click all those little squares until something happened. And I'd be like, great, this is entertaining. I'm going to try it again. It was like, I don't know what I was doing. I remember playing Slingo back in the AOL days.
I don't know what that is.
It was like an AOL game that was basically a slot machine. And my mom got really into it too. Believe it or not. Mom loves the slots. It was fun. It was a really fun game. If you remember Slingo, hit up the chat. Let me know.
I don't think I've ever heard of Slingo.
I can see if I could find like what are those called? A game simulator thing online. Anyways, I gotta move on. Darth Nicholas has the next couple of super chats here. Thank you so much, Darth Nicholas. In a recent interview, Tony Gilroy revealed that George Lucas loved Rogue One in a phone call between the two. I wonder George Lucas thought of Andor. What George Lucas thought of Andor if he's watched it.
I bet he liked it. If he watched it. I would honestly be kind of surprised if he watched it. Going to see a movie, it's like 2 hours of his time. Mm-hmm. He's probably invited to the premiere and all that. I wonder, I'd be very curious to know if he sat down for 12 hours to watch Andor.
Yeah.
I hope he did.
He probably,
I think he would like it.
Maybe he watched like the first couple episodes and was like, yeah, I know exactly where this is going and I love it. Keep doing what you're doing.
I would like to think that he watched it, but I kind of doubt it.
I don't know, like, I wonder if, if the right people are there, if George gets invited to go see something early and it's like exclusive and they're pampering him and stuff, I think he goes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, he may have been invited to go see it privately,
or they had their own private viewing at the ranch or something like that.
I don't think he sits down on a Tuesday night. I guess it would be a Wednesday. He's like, it's Wednesday. It's Andor Day. Like, I can't see George doing that.
He probably saw it in, like, a couple of different chunks. Like, they scheduled it out, and they were, like, working with George's assistants, being like, when is he free to watch an hour of this, and they scheduled it out like 12 different times, or maybe like 6 different times for 2 hours at a time, you know, like they had him watch it. But at the same time, I don't know, maybe they didn't need his approval for every single episode.
No,
like,
I don't
if
think,
he wants to watch it, he can watch it.
I don't think they're getting approval. I think they're just inviting him to see whatever.
Right.
I'm just curious how much interest he even has in doing that.
Going back to our conversation earlier, I imagine George is like, well, the Love is Blind season 4 live show is tonight, and the wife and I are really enjoying this episode of season of Love is Blind, so we're busy.
I hope he just gets to relax.
He's really into reality TV.
Well, he's working on his museum. I know he's got that going.
Sounds super exciting. Museums. Is that what we're in for when we get older? Wanting to be at and make museums?
Probably. I don't know. I like museums now, depending on what they have.
You were super bored at the British Museum.
Depending on what they have. It's got to be the right kind of film. A film history museum, I would be really excited about. I was bored at the British Museum. I liked seeing the mummies, and then the darkness and all the slow walkers made me tired.
Oh, yeah. We got so exhausted while we were there. The mummies were cool, though. I still think of Home Alone every time I say the word mummy now. Mummies. All right. Darth Nicholas continues with the super chats. What is the one thing you wanted to see more of in the Clone Wars, and one thing you wished we got to see in the Clone Wars? For me...
Oh, wait. Before you say it, I want to say it with you, because I have a guess. This is what you wanted to see more of.
Yeah.
I'll go 3, 2, 1, and we'll say it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Night Sisters.
Boom. All right. We're not so unlike each other. Or maybe you just know me by now.
I would hope so. It's only been 15 years, so I don't know.
One thing you wished you got to see in the Clone Wars, for me, I wanted to see more clone commandos, especially for the Citadel arc, and I wish we got to see separatist victories against Republic forces.
That's true. We don't really get to see... We're constantly hearing about the separatists and their victories, but...
Maybe they don't want to show kids the bad guys winning.
The bad guys. Okay, that's a good... Here's something I wish we saw more of. Yeah, something I wish we saw more of is stuff like heroes on both sides. The Revenge of the Sith crawl says there are heroes on both sides. Evil is everywhere. When we're presented with the Clone Wars, for the most part, it feels like one side's the good guys and one side is the bad guys. And I know that's a complex thing for a cartoon to explore, but I really loved the episodes that show that, like what Padme said, that this war is a failure to listen. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what this is all about, is if we just sat and listened to one another, we could resolve this. And showing the heroes on the separatist side would have been interesting, because we did get some of the villains on the Republic.
Yeah.
With like Pong Krell and stuff.
I want to see Dex.
That would have been fun.
Dex in the Clone Wars.
That would have been great. What was the first part?
Wanted to see more of. And then what you wished to see. So I wanted to see more of Night Sisters, and I wish we could have seen Dexter Jetster in Clone Wars.
The Night Sisters is something that jumped out to me too. I'll just say Asajj Ventress in general. I would have liked to see more of her.
Like her earlier story or her later story? Either.
Like, she is a hugely memorable character in the whole series, and it kind of surprises me when we rewatch it that I'm like, she's not in it as much as I recall her being.
Mm-hmm. And then next up, another Darth Nicholas super chat. Would a Tales of the Mandalorians animated series featuring the likes of Tar Vizsla, Cal Skirata, Waylon Val, etc. interest you? I mean, probably not, just because, like, we have The Mandalorian now, and we're getting a lot of Mando stuff in that. It's not the history of Mandalorians and, like, stuff about characters we already know, but I don't know. Like, for the general public, and I guess for myself too, I'm more interested to see where Din's story is going for those Mandalorians than to go backwards and look at the history of Mandalorians.
I still think there's a chance that Tar Vizsla could be in a Tales of the Jedi. We can kill two birds with one stone there.
Yeah, I do think that would be fun.
But, I mean, yeah, it's kind of my same answer for before, is that whenever a new project is announced, I'm never going to be upset if they're like, we're doing a Tales of the Mandalorian anthology. I'll be like, cool. But my preference is more like, let's do something that another Star Wars story isn't currently doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got a cute little Disney hater in the chat. Their name is Dr. Evil.
Oh.
Look at them go. Sorry. Okay. Screen Rant recently released an article about how Kix would be a great way to bring Tim into Rey's new Jedi Order movie. With advanced aging, Kix would look 64 in 50 ABY and be the same age as Tim when that movie gets released. I don't think Kix is going to be in that movie. I think we've talked about this before, but great. If he's the same age, sure. It's not completely impossible to happen, but I don't know that... I don't know if that would happen.
Kix is definitely a clone I want to see more of. He's only popped up in like one comic outside of the short story that established him being in the sequel era. So I want to see what he's up to, but he is part of a pirate crew. So I'm like, I kind of want to see that. I just want to see a clone pirate hanging out with the Crimson Corsair. But
that would be cool.
it is interesting. Like, he has some knowledge
like
of the Jedi.
Skeleton Crew-esque if there was a clone in there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Kind of like Hu Yang. Kix is someone that has some knowledge that would be valuable to Rey.
Yeah. I think it would be cool. I just don't think it would happen. But what do I know? Don't listen to me. And you know, choose your battles with Screen Rant. Dan Ben has the next super chat here. Weirdest / favorite Star Wars commercials / video game trailers. Oh boy. Wait, video game trailers / commercials?
I don't remember many commercials growing up. I'm sure there were some for like toys.
There was like a Taco Bell one. I think there was a Burger King one.
I remember in like 4th grade, I forget why.
There's a Pizza Hut one.
I forget why the TV was on, but it was. And it was in school, and a Star Wars commercial came. Maybe we were watching like a movie that was taped off a TV, and a Star Wars commercial came on, and everyone in the class looked at me. That's my recollection of a Star Wars commercial. I know Luke was in it with his green lightsaber on the Death Star. I can't remember what the commercial was for. Probably action figures or Shadows of the Empire. It was around that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember any very vividly.
I don't either.
I wish I did. It's interesting being in a generation where we grew up watching cable TV, seeing a lot of the same commercials over and over and over. And then suddenly commercials weren't a thing anymore.
Yeah, now we stream everything.
We can stream everything. We have ads now that are basically commercials, but like
it's not the same.
They're targeted, and also we have ways of getting around them now. We're not slaves to cable TV anymore. It's just wild to think that we are people who grew up in a certain way and now things are so completely different. And I know that counts for many other generations too, but I like to think that we're unique because we didn't grow up with the internet. We came into it. Like I was talking about earlier, like just being on the computer and thinking I'm playing Minesweeper just by clicking buttons and having a good time still.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a good way to explain the excitement of just being able to play anything on a computer. Now I sound old.
I miss cereal commercials. I liked those.
They're okay.
Nah.
I don't remember any that like really stuck out to me.
I don't know. They were just fun. They were all trying to make cereal look cool, and it was all
there
just
were no like over the top villains in them.
Nope. Well, I guess there were some. I'm sure there were like someone trying to. I guess the kids were the villains. They were constantly trying to keep
Tricks are for kids.
Yeah, they wouldn't let Trix the rabbit eat his own dang cereal. He's probably starving to death.
Aw. Is it his own cereal? Someone just stole the rights to his name and used it.
Then it should be. He deserves some equity in that company.
Whoa. No one's thinking about the word equity as a kid eating cereal.
That's what I thought of.
All right. I think that's all we can come up with for commercial/video game trailers, or that's all I can come up with.
Yeah, I don't really remember. Especially not weird ones. Like all of the video game trailers I think of, I was like, Old Republic, super cool. Like all the trailers have been enjoyable to me. But I can't think of any weird ones. I'm sure someone might be able to jog my memory in the chat, but I can't remember.
Lucky Charms kept getting robbed by kids.
Yep.
Dark Side M&M's advertisement.
I don't remember that, but I'm into it.
Kind of remember those. Worry in the chat said, people felt that way about horse and buggies, then cars took over. Huge shift in culture. Yeah, that would be wild. I'm just gonna let this giant loud machine drive me around. I guess you're driving it, but like still, back then they may not understand that you're in full control. Anyways, getting off topic. We should probably wrap up soon, get some dinner. Caleb Diaz has the next super chat. What's your favorite interpretation of the Jedi? Also, I'm still going through Buffy, and I think I can say with confidence, Spike is my favorite character.
Nice.
I'm happy for you. That might change, but I'm still happy for you. Not saying that like Spike gets worse, but you know there are better characters that show up, and maybe Spike gets worse. Who knows?
Favorite iteration of the Jedi? Right now, it's probably the High Republic.
Yeah.
They're still flawed, but I think they're closer to what the Jedi should aspire to.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Other than High Republic Jedi, who would I pick? Ahsoka. I don't know if that counts like a specific person.
I don't know if iteration means.
Like I think Ahsoka is one of the most.
I guess Ahsoka is kind of an iteration because
she doesn't
on her own.
She's not. She like left the Order, and then for a while was like, I'm not a Jedi. So we're not really sure what she is.
I mean, yeah, I do. And I kind of hope that's part of the Ahsoka series, is her reconciling that and figuring out, like, I am a Jedi. I'm just not kind of the way I was raised to be. But I do like the Dark Times Jedi survivors and all of the ways. So anything after Order 66 all the way up until, I guess, the sequel trilogy, or whenever Luke starts his academy, all of the Jedi that are trying to figure it out for themselves. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. Jane Dalton just said in the chat, I'm starting to think Molly should get some back-end money on Buffy streaming. I mean, I'll take it. I'm still just waiting for some kind of like big new Buffy related project to pop up. I don't know. Like, I don't know why I'm not making any Buffy content. Go follow Fear Queers pod. I think that's their Twitter handle. And then watch Hellmouth Homos, or listen to it. It's podcast and video. They are literally going through the main episodes. Not every episode, but like the main arcs and covering it. So
aren't they doing not a reboot, but something?
I don't know. It's been so long since I've heard any news about it, so I don't...
Put each of those on each of those.
Are these all the same?
Yeah.
Sticker time. Trees Are Great 2030 in the chat said, do you think in Tales of the Jedi Season 2 there will be a short arc about Sifo Dyas?
I hope so. I think he was one of the Jedi that when we were speculating on what could they do in Season 2, and we were like, Tar Vizsla would be cool. Sifo Dyas is on my wish list. So I would love for them to do that. I have no idea if that's what's going to happen. But I'd like to know more about his story. He is a Jedi that is so important, and very little is known about him.
Yeah. I mean, we just saw him at the end of Season 6 in a vision. But yeah, he is an interesting little, like,
Enigma?
a side quest almost of Star Wars storytelling, where he's literally just like, oh yeah, and then we need a way that this happened. We need a way that the clone army came about.
I mean, I am endlessly amazed. I don't know if that's the word. Just like flabbergasted that that character was created from a typo in the script. And George Lucas was like, yeah, let's go with that. Because it was originally supposed to be Sifo Dyas, like Sidious. And someone was like, oh, I accidentally put an F in there. And George was like, keep it.
What is the action figure near the massive Lego Falcon? Which one?
We got 2 Cobb Vanths.
These are both Funko Pops of Cobb Vanth, one with the helmet, one without. Back there is Obi-Wan. This is 000. Back here. There's a little pilot over there. Who's that? Is that Luke? No, that's not Luke.
That's Porkins.
Porkins. We need a Yaddle as a Padawan tail. Interesting. That would be interesting.
Just make her death even sadder.
Oh, Obi-Wan looks like Homer Simpson, they said. He does kind of give off...
He's got
the
big
vibe.
eyes, yeah. I can see that.
I feel like they can never do Obi-Wan's eyes right in his action figures. Because when I was on Ken Plum's show, in just like the open chat show, he was opening a bunch of different figures and like talking about how none of the Obi-Wans look the same. They all look different. Some have super dark hair, some have super blonde hair, and then the eyes are always kind of wacky.
All right, I finished that bag. Did 3 bags today.
Nice. Ooh, does the ball go anywhere?
That's what I was talking about. You weren't paying attention.
Well, you got it stuck, so I wasn't sure if it was meant to do that or not.
Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to get stuck. I think it kind of is. I think it's supposed to like lock up so the Indy can go under it and then it'll roll after him. But
was there a giant spider in that scene?
there's tarantulas in it.
Just regular size
There's like
tarantulas?
a couple that are on Indy.
Oh, right.
And then he has Satipo turn around and they're like all over him.
That's right. I remember that. Cool. Cool stuff. How many more sections are there of this?
I don't know. And there. Just one more.
Oh,
But I'm not done with the middle section yet.
okay. This is just really fun.
I know. That's what I was saying. It's really satisfying.
All right, before we go, I'll read one last super chat here from Gio Flores. Thank you so much, Gio. Hey guys, may have another surprise package for you both. Hopefully you like it all. Haha. Ooh,
I'll keep an eye out. Thank you, Gio.
I love a surprise package. Thank you. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. We'll come back same time next week to build more of this indie set.
And in an hour and a half, we'll be on Bombadcast to talk about Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, and I don't think any of them are ready for my hot takes on Indiana Jones.
I don't know your hot takes yet.
I don't know that they're actually hot takes, but I just am not as hardcore of a fan of that franchise, so I just have a lot of maybe unfiltered takes. I don't know.
That's fine.
Anyways, yeah, we'll be over there 7:30 in an hour and a half on Bombadcast. So we're gonna go get some dinner first, but we'll see you guys next time. We'll be live will be Tuesday next week. We'll be playing some more Jedi Survivor. I'm getting into the good stuff now. I got past Dagon.
You finally got past the stuff that you've already played.
Yeah, I'm finally into the stuff that I have no idea what's happening. So it's exciting for me at least, but
I'm excited.
yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much for everyone who sent in super chats. It really means a lot to us, and we wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.